Hello, my name is Dimitri and I'm with Flat Roof Pros. Today we're going to do a core sample on one of the ski resorts in the beautiful state of Washington. And I'm going to walk you through the whole process of the core sample. What material do we use? By the code, how many layers are we allowed to have? So we're going to pick area. We picked this area because this is like a center of the roof and closer to the ridge. So this is one of the good areas to do a core sample. Before you even start to do a core sample, make sure you have everything in here. We're going to have acetone to clean the area where the core sample is going to be applied. Also, we use fabric. This goes after we finish the core sample. GE silicone system to protect the roof from any leaks afterwards. We use tape just to make nice and clean. Bring knife or scissors for the fabric. First, we're going to clean this area with the acetone. Make sure you have rags as well. And the clean rag afterwards. So as you can see, there's a different color right now. That means that we clean this area. Before using the core sample, be really careful because the teeth are really sharp. You don't want to damage the areas that you're not going to perform the core sample. So make sure you keep it in the rubber safe and then apply. Pick the center, put it down. So when you do a core sample, you press down and just rotate back and forth until you get to a hard stop. And you hear that? That's plywood already. So the top portion came up, so that means we have the material inside the tube. Same, take it out, back and forth. So we have the core sample inside. We're gonna bring this out. Nice. We get the Oreo cookie. The whole goal is to see how many layers we have. Unfortunately, we have 2 layers. And you can see there's a silver coating on both of them. And also we're going to measure and see how deep is the insulation. And that's 2 inches exact. Now, before we close it up, we need to make sure that we're going to waterproof properly. First, we apply GE silicone system inside the hole. And we don't want this thing to leak, so pull as much as you can. Then we'll put in our Oreo cookie back inside. I like to use tape just to make clean, so afterwards it looks nice and clean. Just give yourself a little bit more area than the fabric because you don't want your fabric to overlap your tape. We apply GE silicone system before we apply fabric. And also between those layers, add some silicone as well, so it sticks way better. Now, after that, make sure you have scissors or a knife to cut your fabric. I usually cut around 4 inches. And make sure the core sample is going to be right exactly in the center. So you have at least from 2 to 1.5 inches nice fabric around it. Put it down. And for next layer, use paintbrush. It's better because it doesn't rip the fabric and it's gentle. And apply right over the fabric. Now we have everything we need. We have documentation, we have measurements of the insulation and how many layers. To the state of Washington, code is we can do overlay only when it's 1 layer. The overlay is the 2nd layer. So apparently, unfortunately for this roof, we're gonna have to do a whole re-roof probably with insulation. So after that, we're gonna remove tape and see what we have. There you go. Now it's waterproofed with the GE silicone system. And also I recommend before doing any core sample, make sure you look at the weather and you don't apply or you don't do a core sample like 2 hours before rain. Just have at least a day or at least more than 2 hours, from 5 to 6 hours before you apply any silicone or doing with any other materials. After that, we're done. We're gonna clean up and we're gonna be on our way. Again, this is Dimitri with Flat Roof Pros. Leave a comment if you have any questions with one of your roofing projects down below with a core sample or any roofing projects you have. We'll be glad to answer them.